Okay, what happens when people go for a personal apology with Cardinal Mahoney? Well, I don't know what happens with other people, but I can tell you what happened for me. For me, what happened was I was really stressed out at first. I got the privilege of taking my mother and my sister Gloria, and they hadn't been able to confront the situation prior to this, really, and it was very emotionally taxing for myself and my mother and my sister. I'm really glad that I went, if nothing else, but because I was able to help my mother and my sister do some of the process of healing. I had that privilege of being with them, which I hadn't gotten able to do really much of in my life prior to this because of the destruction and devastation that the sex abuse has created in our lives together as a family. And so that was very important. I was able to voice what I needed to voice and see for myself how sincere Mahoney was and meet him as a person. I felt already so many feelings of disappointment and disgust in the way that he's handled these sex abuse cases. I needed to see who this person was. When I confronted him with George Neville Rucker and the Catholic Church having continued to pay his pension, even after knowing that he was such a horrific child molester, he had enlightened me to the fact that they had stopped doing so here recently in 2008, which I was kind of surprised to hear. But why did they wait till 2008? The case was settled in December of 2007, so why did they wait till 2008? That's like all those years of them still knowing that he did what he did, and it's like Mahoney was co-signing what he did. So I really do feel that in confronting Mahoney that I was able to see for myself what I'd already always suspected, which is that he's not really that sincere about helping or changing the whole situation with the shifting of priests and so on and so forth. I don't believe in his sincerity at all. I asked him if he was willing to step outside of his position of the church and just present himself with the opportunity of making the changes that he needs to make, and that standing up for the statute of limitations, and he's not willing to do that. What really surprises me is, well, it doesn't really surprise me. I guess what really disgusts me is the fact that they're so willing, and when I say they're, I mean the Catholic corporation, and I'm going to call it a corporation because I don't believe it's really a church. I think it's just a corporation. That this corporation and the head of these corporations are not willing to do the right thing, and they're continuing to tear through people's lives with their bureaucracy. Now, when you think about this, Cardinal Mahoney was a social worker at one point, and he quit being a social worker and resigned from that because social workers are obliged to report child sex abuse. And in knowing that, that's really kind of disgusting. And then in a way, that makes him worse than the pedophiles because he was co-signing it. So I don't know what to say about that. Going back to my apology, it wasn't really an apology. I mean, I didn't see him say, "Oh, I'm really, really sorry," and I didn't see any sincerity. It was very much like it was like a puppet. It was like he wasn't there. He was in some other zoning, some like nodding. It was like a politician does, those kind of circle answers of questions that were put to him. I had to ask him 5 times what book he studied. What book do you practice? And he was saying, well, I don't know what book you're referring to. I had to ask him in 5 different ways about what book he goes by, and not once did he say the Bible. I had to ask him, the Bible? Do you not teach from the Bible? So, you gotta wonder what this organized religion thing is really all about. Thank you, Mom, for coming. Thank you, my sister Gloria, for coming. I'm glad this brought you some healing. I'm healing too. I suppose I'll be working on this for the rest of my life. It's not over. It's not over. It'll be over when the statute of limitation changes, and when all of us are able to see that the church is really interested in the people, not their money. When we get back to a place of spiritual well-being, and I'd like to say that in the end, all of the truth will come out. And thank you to Kathy Freeberg, my attorney, for attending the meeting. I appreciated that. Thanks, Kathy. And Kay, thank you for the wonderful, wonderful job you're doing in helping getting the real news out that the media is not getting out for whatever reason. I commend you for that, and if there was a possibility to get some kind of award, I think you should get it, because you've certainly put a lot into this, and yourself as a survivor, you're really doing your part. And I would like to say to my son, all 3 of my sons, I'm sorry that all this happened and that it affected you the way it did, and thank you for loving me just the same, and for putting up with all that anguish. You're wonderful boys, and you deserve a better life, and I hope that you can walk through life with confidence, knowing that you are the people that you are, which is very beautiful and very strong, and you deserve a better life, and never give up on what you believe in, and fight for the truth. And thank you for being behind me during all of this. And Joyani, one day we're going to see each other. I love you, Joyani, and I haven't given up. I'm still trying to find you, and I'm still trying to do what I can legally to bring you home. Cardinal Mahony did promise to give a letter expressing the unsurmountable amount of duress that a person goes under when in litigation like this. From his professional standpoint, I'm waiting to see that letter. We'll see if that happens. He did promise to do so in front of my lawyer, so we'll see if that happens. I'll never stop fighting for you, Joyani. I love you. I know you're only 10 years old. You don't know what's happening. I don't know if you'll ever get to see this video, but I'm not giving up. I'll never give up. Not only did the Catholic Church and their, well, not church, the Catholic company, arranged to rip my life off and rip my childhood off and rip off the childhood of my sons, but they managed to acquire my youngest son, and hopefully we can rectify that. I don't know that there's enough Catholics out there that really care about us as survivors or care about that book that they read, the Bible, enough to help to correct this situation. I do know that I'm not giving up, and I still have faith in the good hearts of good people, that maybe somewhere along the line, if we continue to strive for the truth, that these changes will come quicker and sooner than later. Thank you, Kay, for your work. Okay, I'm signing off. Bye.